So on day 4 of the trip, I rode solo about 4 hours east to end up north of Charlotte to stay a night at my friend Mike's house. Now Mike, he's a certifiable badass. This guy runs his life with military precision, and you saw he had an airplane in his garage, or hangar if you will. And that's not just a regular airplane, that he hand built that himself. It is a custom stunt plane. So Mike wasn't a stunt pilot. He actually organized his own team and did international air shows. That airplane, he set several Guinness records in. This guy's just on another level. And for fun, he does these gnarly adventure rides on his KTM adventure motorcycle. So he's like, Ivan, if your motorcycle needs anything, we can make it. We can 3D print any part. We can, you know, I just needed some oil. And also my helmet had a little screw loose on the face shield. He's like, it's a plastic screw. We can 3D print it. We found a little metric screw that fit just fine, and you know, that was all the attention that my gear needed. But anyways, the next morning, 6 a.m., we rode out. I just followed him for a couple hours to the North Carolina border, had a nice breakfast, and then I hit the Blue Ridge Parkway and made it home. So that was a fun visit. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the GoPro footage from the North Carolina trip. That was a phenomenal adventure. 5 days, almost 1,700 miles on this 1979 Yamaha. I was grinning the entire time. This bike is just so fun to ride. I wish I had it 15 years ago in 2008 when we did our cross-country trip. I rode an 82 Sika, or Yamaha Sika 4-cylinder 750. That bike did fine, but this one's just so much more fun to ride. The 3-cylinder has that nice balance of mid-range torque, and it'll still rip on the high end. Decent fuel economy, 45 to 50 miles per gallon. Surprisingly, it kept up with the sportier bike, my brother and his friend Andrew on the newer Suzukis. No problems at all. This got a little shaved down. It was throwing some sparks on hard left corners there, but man, it was just really fun. So, any mechanical problems? Nothing really new during the trip. Only two little things are, the high beam. I had that issue ever since I bought it 2 years ago. Intermittently, it just, won't turn on the high beam. We fixed that at the campground. Bad cold solder joint on the bulb itself. No big deal. And then the starter clutch, I know we heard in the previous video with the thermal cameras, it's not happy, so it only has 10,000 miles on it, and I believe why it was sold is the previous owner couldn't get it running. They probably cranked the hell out of it, and the starter clutch finally started slipping a little bit. But cool thing is, in 1979 they still had the kickstart, so I was using that now about half the time during the trip just to save wear and tear on that starter clutch. So I went on eBay after the trip and got the bike cleaned up and ordered a new or used starter clutch assembly. We're going to install that today. Here it is, funky looking thing. It also drives the oil pump, so we're going to do that right now. Alright, so the starter clutch and oil pump drive live behind the left crankcase cover. So here's a starter motor cover. That's where the starter gear is. There's an intermediate gear, and it drives that clutch. So we have to start by removing the ignition pickup. You can see there are no points here. So in 1978 or 79 they upgraded to electronic ignition. Now the advanced mechanism is actually mechanical. Then this thing, it's it picks up the pulse for the 3 cylinders. It's driven off the crank, so it's a waste spark system for 3 cylinders. It's not driven off the cam. Pretty interesting design. So let's pop this off, and then we'll get this crankcase cover off. You do want to mark bolt holes where this thing sits. Oh, I guess we have to take that off. It's a 10 millimeter. There we go. Must have been Loctited on there. I guess the whole advance unit comes off with that. Oh, I see. And that's pinned to the end of the crank. Like so. And you want to make sure that these springs are still doing their job. For the advance mechanism, we actually spray a little lube in there. That looks fine. Oh, well, I just pulled on the side of the cover and it looks like it's being fairly friendly. Uh-oh. Okay, there's the washer there. Aha. So like I said, starter, this is that intermediate gear, which can stay on here. And then I assume this washer came from here. So in order to get the starter clutch out, see, there's a starter clutch. We have to get this sprocket off, and then this whole thing just pulls out. Alright, so let's get this big nut off. It's a 32. Let's see if it'll be friendly. Piece of cake. Okay. I love working on old bikes. Everything's so easy. Alright, so this starter clutch. There it is with the oil pump drive gear. What you do is actually lift out and inspect, and this is exactly what I thought we were going to find. So you see the marks on here? That's where the rollers were jumping around. So it is a little messed up. And the rollers themselves, well, let's see. This thing is full of oil. They don't look terrible, but there's definitely some wear in there. So let's pop in the new clutch, put this thing back together, see how it works. This is the new starter clutch, and I did check that clutch surface looks mint. I'm not going to take it all the way apart because if one of those rollers jumps out, it's a real pain to put back in. So that's it. This thing's just going in here just like it came out. It's supposed to go in a little further. I think that's it. Alrighty. Alright, moment of truth here. Make sure it's for neutral. Let's just crank it. I'm happy with that. No more slipping and clanging and banging. 20-minute repair job. This bike's ready for the next adventure. And yeah, take advantage. Life is short, so have fun, stay safe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.